What up, my dudes? This may not be my last video of the year because CGC just billed me a couple days ago for yet another 25 booker. So, yeah, the next one I think is going to have a little bit better books than these. These 50 books, not so hot, all spec lad, this entire thing. We'll take a look at them. Then there's nothing. Well, you know what? A couple books I'm excited about. A couple books, but the majority plain spec, modern spec. Okay. So a little while ago, I asked that you guys see if you guys can tell me who your favorite character is, favorite storylines, and I wrote this down just based on how many people who answered and what they answered in order, right? So Kurt likes the Hulk and the Avengers. Favorite story is Fantastic Four 25 and 26. That's versus the Thing. Paulie D, he likes Batman. Favorite story is Year One, one of the best stories, comic book stories of all time. If you haven't read it, pick it up. I'm assuming here that most of you guys are readers, but I'm not sure if you are or not. He does like Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil because one of his favorite books is Batman 227. Secret Jedi, he likes Daredevil and Punisher. Born Again, Frank Miller. Frank Miller is one of the best writers ever and responsible, in my opinion, for two of the best stories ever in comics, including Year One. Of course, the other one is The Dark Knight Returns. Manny likes Batman and the X-Men storylines, Nightfall and Days of Future Past. So, you know, Manny, 90s guy, without a shadow of a doubt. Funhouse Comics likes Thor. That's pretty easy because I like Thor. Jim Bowers, Jason Aaron's Thor, though. Jason Aaron has some really good stories about Thor. Really good stories, specifically All-Father Thor, the King Thor, I guess you could call him, right? And Galactus, his Galactus storylines are pretty good. And of course the Gore storyline, but never did like what he did with Jane Foster. All right. Jimmy Bowers, he likes Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. I don't know if he likes the other Green Lanterns. I don't have too much. There's some of these characters I don't really have too much of, like say Daredevil and the Punisher. I don't really have too much of their stuff. I do like, I don't know if you guys ever read The Punisher the Cell. It's a one-shot read. Phenomenal. All right. Oh, you know what? The Bourne series is pretty freaking awesome too, from the Punisher. And Green Lantern. Hal Jordan, I don't have too much of his stuff. I would have to dig deep on that. Darth Biscuit, I should have guessed this. Darth Vader, Forgotten Realms. Okay, so Forgotten Realms. So he likes, I put like D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm assuming that he's into the fantasy. Darth Biscuit. Mark Spector, of course. I just put who else? Wayne Wong. Iron Fist. That's another guy that I don't have too much stuff on. Matt Fraction's Iron Fist. I am very confident that Iron Fist is going to make a triumphant return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Doctor Doom, of course. I put down Iron Man. Just kidding, of course. Doom. Dr. Doom. Alright, so why am I doing this? I said, look, every now and then, I'm just going to pick somebody, and we're going to send something to them. So, I'm already working on something for Kurt, okay? I got to find the book, though. I got to find the book. But I think, Kurt, you're going to like it. You might have it already, though. Silver Age book. You might already have it, but it's a nice book. Not a very expensive book, but I'll show it one of these days, maybe next month, once I find it. All right, Paulie D, you're getting a giveaway today, my friend. All right, so I want to know though. So I'm going to be really busy these next couple of weeks, so it's going to take a couple of weeks for me to ship this to you, okay? All right, so I want to know if you have this book, Batman, Son of the Demon. This is by Mike Barr and Jerry Bingham. This is the first appearance, real appearance, of Damian Wayne. Of course, he's not called Damian here. One of the best Batman reads of all time. That, my dear friends, is the first time that we see Damian Wayne. There's certain sites that call this an Elseworlds book. It is not. This is a hardcover, so you can't have this graded, at least not yet anyway. This is well read. I've read this book like maybe 2 or 3 times already, you know. So this book is going to you, Paulie D, and it's meant as a reading copy. That's really what it's meant as. It's in pretty nice shape though. Pretty nice shape. I want to know if you have read this. Another thing I want to know, have you read The Chalice? I don't know if you're a religious man or not, but Batman The Chalice and Batman Dead Man has a lot of religious tone on Batman. But great reads. Batman Dead Man, Batman The Chalice. Please let me know if you have those, okay? There's also other great stories, guys. Like, Batman has so many great stories. But yeah, this one is gonna be yours if you don't have it, my friend. I will ship it out to you and we'll talk. All right, you have my email address. You can email me. I'll email you. All right, and just let me know if you have this or not. Okay. So we're gonna put that one away. Next thing here. Next thing. All right, at the beginning of next year, probably next week or 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna put out another video of the Grail project, because I wanted to wait until the end of the year to finalize some of the books that went into the Grail project. I'm going to tell you there's going to be a lot of pain in there, okay? But because I started that project and was not as successful as I really wanted to be, I am starting a solid spec project, is what I'm calling it. Solid spec. So I picked 3 books I just bought here in December, and I'm putting these in the solid spec project, okay? I'm trying to pick stuff out that is going to remain hot, okay? Some of the problems with the Grail project is that I bought the books, the character was really hot, and then all of a sudden CGC just started having problems. I still have books from back then that haven't arrived from CGC, you know, and that's ridiculous, you know, but hey, it happens. All right, so I wanted to pick books this time that are better buys, more solid buys than that. And of course that probably means staying away from the moderns, like current moderns is what I'm talking about. So that doesn't mean I'm going to stay away from the modern group, because these are technically, according to CGC, still modern, but I am gonna only be buying books here that are established or have very high spec value, but are not recently modern, like in the next in you know, a year old or a month or 2 months old, you know, but something that I see a lot of value. And of course we're going to be looking at value also, you know. I'm not the type of channel that goes out and buys a $12,000 book. I'm just not that kind of guy, you know. This is not that channel. There's other channels that you see, you know, $12,000 unboxing or you know, comic book investments. That guy makes a great living. He's a great channel, you know. Yeah, this is not that channel. My channel is more like, hey, you know what? I'm more of the, you know, I'll buy something affordable every now and then. I'll go after a big book once I have enough cash. But I want to hit something before, I want to get to something before it hits big, right? So anyway, so I bought 10 Amazing Spider-Man 365s. All 10 of them are going to be going into this project. I paid $337.20 for these, all 10 books. So of course it's going to be $33.72 per book. Okay. I took a look at the pictures of these books, and specifically I was looking at the spines. These particular books are really hard to get in 9.8s. If you look at the 9.8 in a 365, yes, these were printed like a million probably, right? But, or close to it, but they're hard to get in 9.8s. You've seen me submit a whole bunch of these before. I've gotten a few 9.8s, but not too many. I've only gotten 2 9.8s, 365s in the directs. However, when I looked at this particular group, in the pictures, it looked like they were really high grade. Like I couldn't see much on them. So I took a gamble and I bought them. Okay, so these are the other ones, right? There's 7 here. I looked all of them over. 3 of them, these 3 are going to be sent as a pre-screen 9.8. Hopefully I'll get all 3 of them, but maybe even if I get 1 out of 3, that'll still be good. These other ones are going to be sent to Mr. Kendra. All right. One of them will definitely not be a 9.8 because it has 1 tick. I forget where I put that one at. I thought it was this one. But one of them, I think, might have been this one. It has like a little rub right there, color rub. But anyway, yeah. I'm going to try to get 9.8, so obviously on most of them. So I'm going to send 6 out to get pressed and pre-screen 9.8 right through Mr. Kendra. The other one is just going to be pressed and cleaned and sent out for grading. The object is, of course, to get at least, out of the 10 books, at least 3 9.8s. That's the object, right? I think I got a shot at getting more than that, but you've heard that from me before, and that hasn't happened on some of the books. Blue Marvels, the Power Rangers, right? Success rate was not that big on those. However, the Halos, success rates on the Halos were sky high, you know? All right, that's book number 1. Book number 2, Infinite Crisis number 5. I'm going to be putting 2 books in there. 2 books. I paid $12.18 and $12.24. I chose the 2 highest books that I paid for in that. $118.19. So you're looking at $60 a book is what you're looking at. Now, it's not these. Remember, I bought 5 of these before. Sent them to get pre-screen. 2 of them came back 9.8s. 3 of them, these 3, failed in 9.8. These are going to be sent to be pre-screen 9.8s along with 6 of those, okay, to Mr. Kendra. I bought 3 more. All right, I got to give credit where credit is due. This is all because of Jaguar Chicolt. Okay, I didn't really know much about this character until I saw one of his videos, and he was talking about Jaime Reyes. Then he had a comment there where he said, you know what, who would be good for playing this kid is the guy from Cobra Kai. And I agreed. I thought that he would be a great, actor to play him. It's a guy that has, he's got a good look to him. He's a good-looking kid. His name is Xolo Madurena. All right. He's not a household name. But I'm going to be rooting for that kid. This is going to be the very best. I'm going to tell you why, okay? I think this is the best spec book that I picked out of all of these. Well, maybe not. Blue Marvel's pretty good, but it's number 2. All right. But the possibilities for this character, they're astounding. This kid is going to be the first Latino superhero out in either Marvel or DC universe. Okay, he has his own film. That is a tremendous responsibility, and I think the kid has charisma. He's got the look, and I think he's going to make his name known on this property. He is of Mexican, Cuban, and Ecuadorian descent, but he's born in the United States, and he's a young kid, and I cannot wait for this to become a movie, and I'll definitely be going to see this and support him. So I bought 3. I'm only putting 2 in the project. I will sell 2 if hopefully all of these will be 9/8. I already have 2 9/8 on hand of this book. Hopefully I'll have 8. Okay, here's a fun fact for you guys. So DC had a project for this as a live action series. However, a week ago, might have been a little more than a week, but they announced that instead they canceled the series. So instead they're going to go with a live action movie. So they're going to spend a lot more money on it. So another thing to be excited about this. Only problem is that they said the same thing with the New Gods, and then what happens? They killed the New Gods movie, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to stay to their guns here. So stick to their guns with this. I hope they do. I want to see what they can do with this character, and if it's a good project, maybe he'll become a household name. Maybe not out of the realm of possibility that becomes a household name. Xolo. Here's the third book. Third book is Blue Marvel number 2. Okay. Paid $57.04 for this. We're throwing this into the project. Now here's the thing, right? I was hoping to get a 9/8 on this. Not sure if I'm going to be able to after the press. If this comes back at a 9/8, I'm keeping it. If it doesn't, if it comes back as a 9/8, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to sell one of my other ones. I have 9/4s and 9/6s of this. So I'll sell one of those 2 for the project if it comes back at 9/8. If it doesn't come back at 9/8, then I'm going to sell it, at whatever it comes back as. Now, Blue Marvel is rumored to be in the Marvels. I don't know how good that is. I don't know. I don't know how reliable that is. But I saw that online. Okay. You read different things, though. Doesn't necessarily mean that he is going to be in the movie. But if he is, it's going to give every one of his books a boost. What I like about this one is his second appearance, and it's right around 14,000, I believe. I think it's 14 or 15,000, so it's less than number one, of course. And the way that the print runs are done for Adam the Blue Marvel is every issue there's less and less and less of them. So by the time you get to issue number 4 and number 5, under 10,000 print run. So yeah, those are going into Solid Spec project. Okay, and we'll see. Everything, you know, the slabbing fees, they're gonna hike up, you know, the prices for these books. Look, am I gonna get some 365s that are gonna be like 9.2s or 9.4s? Maybe. I don't. Well, one of them might, but I think the majority of these are gonna be coming at a 9.8 grade. All I need, really, all I'm asking is for 3 9.8s on that book, and this would be highly successful, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna take a loss on some of these, but I think it's gonna be pretty successful, I think, anyway. Infinite Crisis, again, this is I call it Solid Spec, but you know what I say about spec, right? Speculation is a gamble. It's really what it is. It's a gamble. But we're trying to pick really good properties here, you know, to make these gambles on. That's what we're trying to do, you know. All right, let's get to the unboxing. You know, something I forgot to mention. So this book is going to stay hot. It's going to remain hot. I know it's hot right now, but it's going to remain hot. And the reason is, Spider-Verse movie is coming out next year. I think in August. I want to say August or October. So, yeah, this book is going to keep staying hot. There's going to be more trailers on it. So, yeah, will it keep rising, or will it stay at those prices? I think it's probably going to rise a little bit more. I do believe so. Check out the 9.8s on CGC for 365 versus a book like 361. You'll see there's not that many 9.8s, as opposed to that, like probably 5,000 361 9.8s, a little bit over 1,000 for 365s. You know, that's a lot of 9.8s, but guess what? There's a hell of a lot more than 1,000 fans of Spider-Man. That's why these books, Amazing Spider-Man, when you get a key, so many people that want them. Now, this one right here, the movie's not set to come out until 2023. You can pick this up for 50 to 60 bucks in near mint condition. I would suggest you get them raw and get them graded. However, take a look at the book. Always inspect. Like if you're looking on eBay, right? Unless you could really look at the book yourself, always inspect that spine, man. That spine. Look, there's other channels that tell you, oh, look at the middle first or whatever. Listen, look at the spine and the corners first, okay? That's where you're going to have the majority of your imperfections. Majority. Like, see? Beautiful book, right? Beautiful. I looked at the back already of these books. But if you have a seller that has like 10 pictures of the book, and that's what I did with these, you know, a lot of these books that I bought, yeah, it was good pictures. So I went after it. I thought maybe, 60 bucks, not bad. The 5 that I bought originally, it was a 5-book lot, and I bought those for 50 bucks each. It came out to 50 bucks each. So I paid $10, pretty much $10 extra with shipping and taxes. For the other 3, it's essentially the same price in a 9.8, and this should remain a low value book for right now anyway, until something comes of it. Like, Still, until you start seeing something from the production of the movie, let's say. Again, hopefully they'll make the movie and they won't decide to cancel it like they did the New Gods. All right, let's open this up. I was thinking, like, where the hell are my rejects? There's 23 books here, so 23 out of 25. Success. I mean, that's what I wanted, right? 9/8. So, but yeah, they put the books. They didn't throw it in a Gemini this time. They put them in this. These are going to be my 2 rejects. All right, let's start taking some of these out. Some of these are going to be like I always do, like the same book, All right, how many times have you guys seen me get these books? Every time I find them at a good price, I buy them if they're in good condition, and I send them out. So I'm just accumulating 9/8 on this. This is the cover B. This is the cover A. The Frizzen. I always thought that the Frizzen was going to be the hardest to get a 9/8, and guess what? I'm right. That is the hardest to get a 9/8. If you look at CGC, less Frizzen cover B's 9/8 than there are cover A's. But of course, the cover A always commands a little bit more. Book's taking a big time derailment, though. This is not the time to sell this book. Now, I have sold a few of these already, but I was selling them when it was like 150. I think I sold one for what, 180. Okay, I am not selling this book for under $100. Absolutely no freaking way in hell I'm doing it. There's always a time to sell. Obviously, there's always a time to buy. All right, this is not the time to sell this book. Eventually, there's been so many rumors. Again, it's online rumors, but if this gets a big name involved with this, forget about it. You look at X-Files, you're looking at having the first appearance of X-Files in a comic book before X-Files, which doesn't exist, by the way, but I'm just saying this is going to be a huge book if something ever happens to it, and I'm willing to wait, because I think once Something's Killing the Children comes to fruition, if it does well, people will be looking for Tynan as they're looking for Kirkman properties to make into projects for either Netflix or animated or movie projects. Look at Kirkman. Kirkman's already got, he started with The Walking Dead, right? That was so successful that what they do, Netflix said, hey, we want Invincible. Now somebody wants Oblivion Song. That's what happens, man. So, Tynan, yeah, I think some of his projects are going to be coming to fruition. How long will it take? How long will it wait? The question is, do you have the time to hold it? Because we are we're holding a bag. I get left holding a bag, but it's my choice to get left holding a bag. I could still sell this for, $10, $20 profit, but I don't want to. And I have the option to hold it. Problem is, other people may not have that option, You bought this book, maybe you need the cash, you gotta do it, When you're buying comic books, especially if you're buying modern, do not use a credit card. Don't buy on credit if you don't have the money. I mean, obviously, if you're buying on credit, but you're planning on paying that credit card at the end of the month, that's a different story, right? I buy most of my stuff on credit card, but guess what? I pay it off at the end of the month. I don't like holding credit, because then you're paying a lot more for the book than you are as if you were to buy cash, I use the credit card because I get perks, But anyway, 2 came up. All my Department of Truth number 1s came at 9.8s. I sent 5. And this time they didn't mess up. All of them say variant cover B, variant cover B, variant cover B. Okay, and this is cover A, cover A. Now, do I think that this book is going to be like Something's Killing the Children? Nah, I don't think it's going to have that type of success. but I think it will have some success. Some success. You're looking at 95,000 printed, right? So maybe a little bit more than 45,000 each on these. I mean, it's significant, but not that bad. Not that bad. Let's look at the next book. All right, these are two big examples of, you know, maybe staying away from most moderns, right? Especially if you're planning on grading them, right? One thing is if you're selling them like raw, but if you're planning on grading them, yeah. At one point, this was going for over $100 in a 9.8, and that would have been tremendous, right? Because you didn't pay that much for it. You could flip it for $100. You can make a pretty decent profit off of this book. It is no longer going for $100, right? Oh, by the way, have to mention this. Something's Killing the Children is coming back. I think it's coming back in March. Do not go after the incentives, okay? Remember, this is Boom Studios. They're asking like $100 for the 1 in 100. Do not, please don't do it, guys. Please, I beg you guys not to do it. There's going to be a 1 in 200. There's no doubt about it. There has to be. There's going to be a 1 in 1,000 again, 1 in 500 again. Do not pay $100 for the 1 in 100. Do not pay for any of the incentives, okay? It's a money grab. And, I mean, is it going to be a great book? I'm expecting it to be a great book. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy the cover A to read it, you know. But if you're specking on Something's Killing the Children, don't spec on the incentives of the next one, which will be number 21. All right. Spec on number 1. Spec on number 1. Specifically, the first print through the 6th print. And the store variants for the number 1. That's what you want to spec on. All right. If you go after the incentives, I mean, it's one thing if you like the cover, you want to have the cover. Obviously, it's a different story, right? You love the cover, you want to go after the cover. Eventually, maybe even the 7th and 8th print, maybe, you know, depending on how popular this character gets in the real world, right? Yeah, if she gets to a point where she's really, really popular, then these will take off again. And I'll probably be sorry that I sold them. But yeah, I'm speculating more for my personal collection and the printings 6th and before. All right, here's another one, right? So here's another book. This book was going for like $250 in a 9.8 when they first came out. But it took me how many months to get this back? Right, more than 6 months to get this back from CGC. So it is no longer that. So, I mean, I would still make money if I sold it anyway. But the reason I bought it was because I do believe that this is a movie company. It's a movie company that hasn't done anything yet. But look, cool back cover, right? Nice. Looks like a one of those old style, you know, eerie covers. All right. Next book. Okay, one of the things that 2021 has brought us and taught us is to never go after a property solely based on the fact that it's going to be in a media outlet. Media meaning a movie, animated, or TV series. So this was, I think, a Netflix show, but it was not taken well by the viewers. So it got canceled. You know, as quick as it went up, it got canceled. Another one was Why the Last Man. Now, a lot of people are specking on Saga. Now, Saga could be a great story. It could be. I don't doubt that it isn't, okay? But when it translates into the real world, into us, into the regular viewership, it might not be what you think it is, even if you love the comic book. There's a lot of people that love Jupiter's Legacy. And Y the Last Man. I like Y the Last Man and the concept and everything, but not in today's world. You know, people took that really bad, and guess what? If you invested big money in it, you lost out. You know, and that's what happened to me with this thing. So now I would have to either sell at a big loss, probably 50% loss, I'm assuming, because of the grading fees, or just holding the bag. Or I get to hold the bag on this as well. Now, holding the bag on this and holding the bag on Department of Truth, totally different. Totally different. I paid a lot less for Department of Truth. Okay. And I could make money on Department of Truth today if I want to sell it, even at the current price. But the spec value of Department of Truth is much higher than Jupiter's Legacy, because Jupiter's Legacy needs to be picked up again. You know, how likely is that to happen? I might. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, but if I sell them, it'll be at a 50% loss. Why be in the game? Why be in the game, right? And again, moderns. This is why I call moderns gambles. You know. All right, next one. All right, yet another book. I wish I could have gotten this back like 5 months ago. Okay, so this was going for over $200 in a 9.8 at one point, but not anymore. Right now, it's down to like $120. I would still make money on it. I total invested in this, besides the grading of what this grading is going to be, is $46 per book. All 7 came back 9.8s. So success, because that's what I wanted, right? But yeah, the book's taking a significant dive. Now, I don't mind holding on to these because it's Silk, and eventually Silk will make her move into the MCU. At that point, her classic covers are going to take off, and this is going to be one of them, without a shadow of a doubt. You know it already. So this is not a book that I don't mind like holding. I might sell 2 at 120, maybe. I got to think about it and keep 5. More than likely, I will do that, though. Next one. Okay, this is a pleasant surprise. Sent 3 of the Raw edition. This is the UK variants of Geiger. 1 per store in the UK, so these are the rarest books of Geiger #1. All right, so in my opinion, this will be the book. The US had a similar comic to this, but the US, it says Geiger right on the front. It's more of a trade. This one is more of a virgin. It is a virgin. Another good thing is, I had a prior unboxing where I unboxed 3 others of this. I bought a total of 6 of these babies from eBay in the UK, and all 6 came back 9.8. So these guys in the UK do not play around, my boys. The Pauly D's, the Secret Jedis, they don't play around. They love their comics and they treat them well. And I thank you guys for that, because I paid this in pounds, not in dollars. So yeah, it's another book I'm glad I'm holding. Image Comics and Jeff Johns are going to be doing different projects revolving around Geiger. So I know they got Junkyard Dog or something like that. Junkyard Joe, I think that's what it is. A series coming out for him, or maybe a one-shot book coming out for him. And there's other books that are going to be coming out in this world. Okay, now I've talked a lot of crap about Jeff Johns. But when it comes to writing comics, he's really good at it. The problem I have with him is with screenplay and with writing. Titans was not good, and he was the main writer in Titans. At least that's what it looks like he was. Titans was, it's just awful writing, you know. But when it comes to comics, and I think Jimmy Bowers will agree with me, he is a great comic book writer because he has written a bunch of Green Lantern and lanterns. He came up with all the different types of lanterns, you know. Yeah, when it comes to comics, he hits it out of the park. I wish he did that for comic book series also, okay? Don't make any freaking sense sometimes. Why the hell would you have a Batman? Why would you cast a Batman that looks like Alfred? Like an older Alfred, too. You know? Alright, the next book. Oh my god. I've talked about this book before in another video. And I was so glad that I got a 9.8 on that already, okay? But I got another 9.8 on it. And I freaking love this book. Alright, look at how beautiful this book is. See that? This looks better than the other 9.8 that I unboxed about a year ago. That 9.8 has one little tick mark in here, and it breaks color, and it still made the 9.8. I mean, 9.8 is not a perfect book. They do allow a little bit of imperfections on it, like say something like that, just a little bit of blunt corner. But as far as everything else, look at how freaking beautiful that red is. This is the first appearance of the Mystery Men. I paid $100 for this book. Every now and then, I look for this book, Flaming Carrot Comics, number 16. This is by Renegade Press. Every now and then, I look for this book to see if I can find a high-grade copy. I found this guy about 8 months ago. He was selling it, and he would not budge in price. So I ended up paying the price for it because when I looked at the pictures, yeah, absolutely looked freaking phenomenal. And I would have loved another 9.8, and I got another 9.8. So if the Mystery Men ever come back, I will have one to sell and one to keep. Yeah, this made it worth it. The Geigers and this one, made it big time worth it for me. This is a type of book that this is a personal buy for me. Not a book that goes for a lot of money. I'm assuming that probably a 9.8 probably will go for about $300, maybe. There's not that many of them, first of all. Okay, it's got to be less than 10, probably 9.8s in Flaming Carrot 16. But it's just not something that people covet. At least not yet. Okay, but I covet it. So, yeah, this is just a buy for my PC, and I'm super glad that I got it. So, let's go to the next box. Okay, the two that failed were both Jupiter's Legacy. So, you know what? That's good. That's good, because I'm not going to be pursuing these, at least, obviously not yet, unless they become something. So these go back into a short box, and we'll wait and see. Okay. Next box has 21 out of 25, so it was successful as well. This one has the special labels, the custom labels. Let's take them out. Okay, these are going to be all Thor books. These here, anyway, with the Thor custom label. And this was a Klein cover. I think it was a 1 in 15 or 1 in 25, 1 in 15 maybe. But I just like the cover. you know, Jormungand. And it just reminds me of Thor 380, Simonson's classic versus the Midgard Serpent. Yeah, great cover. Freaking phenomenal. Like it. For I don't know how much these go for. I would imagine that they don't go for much. Kate's, you know, Kate's spec, I am not specking on anymore. He's a good writer. He's a really, really good writer. But I'm not specking on anything like the Hulk run that he has coming up. Yeah, no. If anything, I'll read it. But I'm not specking on it. And then, of course, love that cover from Silver Surfer for Homage. Great. I go to the next book. All right, here's a very deep spec play. If you get this book, you might be holding on to it for a while, but Spider-Man property, not so bad as a spec. Okay, especially now, like the 9.8. I've seen a 9.8 in the 20s. In the 20s, it went on an auction. Something like that, obviously, it's worth it because you're going to be paying like in the 20s to get it graded. The book itself is an incentive. The story was very dark, So can you see this coming into, I don't know, into a project, maybe for the MCU or for an animated project? It's something different from Spider-Man, so I thought it was worth it. So here's the other books that I'm going to be holding on to. All right, but again, these are just spec plays, pretty much. All right, so these are the Miko Suion covers of Spider Shadow. These were limited. They have an A, a B, and a C cover. And I got 2 failures on this because it's 3 each. I bought 3 sets. So, yeah, no, I just like the, this is pretty much a cover buy for me. That's beautiful cover. But, again, being moderns, they stay hot for a little bit, but you get them back in an amount of time that is inexcusable, really, and it is no longer hot. But I think I could still make a little bit of cash on these. I'm going to be holding on to the incentives for sure, though. These will probably get sold soon. All right, and then the final book. Show you guys the final book. It's right here. Nice cover, right? Miles Morales number 25 with the Miles logo, a special label. I got 3 of these, and all 3 came back in 9/8. That one and that one. Yeah, that's it for this one. This one wasn't so hot. Really wasn't all that. Mostly Spider Shadow, really. Majority. Alright, let's go get to the numbers. Yeah, I have not had any luck with this book. First patch. Yeah, I've submitted books like that I thought. I mean, this one's not wrapped well. It's not centered well, but it has no ticks. Yeah, it didn't make the 9.8. I didn't think it would with that wrap, but I've seen 9.8s without the wrap. This actually looks really nice. Didn't make the 9.8 anyway. All right. This one I have had luck with. I'm surprised this one didn't make it. This looked like it was gonna make it. Deadly Genesis. I'm holding on to quite a few 9.8s of this. And then the 2 that didn't make it, the other 2 that didn't make it from the Spider Shadow is cover A and cover B of Miko Suion. Alright, book like this makes it, everything is worth it. But yeah. Okay. Let's go with the custom labels first. Custom labels, they really get you with that. Okay. 21 books came in at a 9.8. We're assuming $12.28 because it was 2 submissions that were sent in. These 2. All right. Comes out to $28.71 per book, assuming the losses of the $8 on the other 4 books that didn't make it on those 4 books, right? Assuming those losses, it comes out to $28.71 to get those babies slabbed. Very expensive. Something you got to really think about with moderns, okay? Because say with the Mikos, right? I probably have around 20, I want to say maybe $25 per book, maybe. I might have less than that. But then you're adding $28 and change. So that's almost $60 right there. So now if I go to sell it, I gotta take into account the selling fees and the shipping that it takes me to send it to my comic shop, unless I sell it on eBay myself. So now I gotta sell those books for $80, just pretty much to $70 to break even, but $80 to make a $10 profit. Not so good. The silks are different though, right? So the silks came in on this one, $23. I'm sorry, 23 books made the 9.8. It's $505 for the fees, plus the $12.28 that we're assuming shipping to CGC. Comes out to $21.97. So the silk book was $46 plus $21.97. 60. You're talking about, we're gonna say $70, right? We're gonna say right around $70, but the book goes for around $120. So you are making a little bit of a profit. Is it worth it? Yeah, that's something you gotta gauge, but it's good to see the numbers, because this is one of the reasons why I'm not going to be doing so much of the moderns, for 2022. I am. Listen, I'm not going to be getting away from the moderns, like, completely. It's not going to happen. When all is said and done, the modern books are what move, faster, right? Thing about it is they fluctuate so much. It's like you're counting on CGC to get you the books quick in order for you to turn a profit on them. If they don't get you the books quick, guess what? That book people could lose interest in it. And a lot of these books in these 2 boxes, yeah, people have lost interest in some of those books. Could they get it back? Yeah, they can get the interest back. It can happen. But now you're again you're left holding the bag. Okay. Anyway, my dudes, later. Have a good night. I'm actually really tired now. I might have one more video this week, maybe, before the year comes to an end. Night night.